So you want to learn to move like this, but you don't know where to get started. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an in-depth guide from the easiest to hardest console movement mechanics there is. If you don't know where to start, stay tuned. I'll be going through everything I know and have done on console movement with in-game examples of how to do everything. Alright boys, so first things first, I'm going to start off with some settings that you guys should, that I think are very necessary with learning movement. And those two settings are going to be crouch set to hold and also turning on auto sprint. Those two settings are very crucial in different movement techs that I'll be showing in this video, such as crouch to hold will make bunny hops a lot easier and more manageable to do. You won't have to do as much to perform them. You can still do it, it's just going to be a little more challenging. And auto sprint is also going to be really good just because it'll give you more binds that you can actually use for your different binds in the game, and you won't have to worry about your sprint being on your left stick. Now, slide jumping is one of the most easiest movement techs there is, and it's pretty basic. I'm assuming a lot of you guys know it already, unless you are brand new. Other than that, everyone should already know this, but slide jumping is used to increase your overall velocity, speed, momentum increase. It's pretty basic stuff. So how you're going to do this movement tech is it's basically timing based. So all you're going to do is run. Like I said, it's going to be easier with auto sprint, but what you're going to do is run forward, slide, and jump while you're sliding. It's that simple. It's literally just run, slide, jump. This will make it easier if you on. But yeah, so that is the first movement tech. Okay, so the next movement tech we're going to be talking about is bunny hopping. And what bunny hopping is used for is it's actually a super easy mechanic that you can be used to get around corners easier, carry your momentum while getting shot at, and also healing. So like I said, certain settings are going to make different movement techs easier for you. So the bunny hop, how you're going to do it is you're really just going to hold your crouch. If you have hold to crouch on, this will be a lot easier for you. All you're going to do is run, hold your crouch, and then while holding your crouch, you're just going to spam your jump. And over time, you'll get the timing down. You won't have to spam jump anymore. But this is what it looks like. It's just bunny hopping. Get around corners really easy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can also do this without hold to crouch. It is going to be a little more tricky, but what you are going to have to do is when sliding, you're going to have to hold your crouch and your sprint and your jump every time you hit the ground. So every time you want to bunny hop, you are going to have to crouch and jump at the same time while bunny hopping enemies while getting around corners, and it's really helpful. So let's get on to the next movement tech. Alright boys, so the next movement tech we're going to get into is the edge slide. And the edge slide is a very basic movement tech that you can do on console. Very easy. It's really good for breaking your enemy's aim assist. And it's a very simple movement tech. Everyone can learn it. It's good for carrying momentum over top of ledges. It's almost like a super glide. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so actually how you're going to do this movement tech is really simple. All you're going to have to do is mantle, walk forward, and slide. So that's simple. Or while crouching. So all you're going to do is walk up, walk forward, slide. And this is really good for breaking your enemy's ankles, breaking their camera, all that good stuff, all the good stuff. So all you're gonna do is walk forward, or mantle, walk forward, slide. It's that simple. Really, all you gotta do is you just walk up, walk forward, slide, and it's really good. The console players out there, really good to carry your movement or your momentum, go really fast, fast pace, all that good stuff, breaking enemies' cameras, ankles, everything. So another thing that you can do with edge sliding is actually, if you use Horizon on console, is you can mix the two movement techs I just shared with you guys with Horizon by binding them together with her air strafe ability. So what you can do is you can come down edge slide, and then you can use her air strafe ability to either go backwards, and then you can also use the bunny hop to get back into cover. So all it is it's up, ledge slide, and then you can use her air strafe and her bunny hop to get back into cover. It's not as good as a tap strafe, but it'll do the job. Okay, so the next sliding movement mechanic is what we're actually being called fade sliding. So it actually did originate from the PC movement player Fade. Everyone knows him. Wraithmane, Sweaty Wraithmane, bald. You know, PC mechanic, keyboard movement god Fade. Okay, so how you actually do this tech is you're going to start behind cover. Typically, that's where you're going to want to use it. Outside of cover, it's not as useful, but you're going to start behind cover. And this movement tech is actually going to give you more momentum than the edge slide. It's actually ridiculous on how much fast, quick momentum you get from this movement mechanic. So how you're going to do it is you're going to start crouched. You're going to hold sprint. So with auto sprint, if you're using that, all you're going to have to do is hold forward. But if you are still on the if you aren't pressed to sprint, you are going to have to crouch, press your sprint, and walk forward. And then all you're going to do is you're going to stand up, you're going to continue holding forward, and then you're going to slide. So it's going to look like this. You're going to be crouched, stand up, slide. And you can instantly get out of cover with a lot of momentum like with that movement tech. It's actually really simple, really fast, a really easy way to get while you're on console with Alright, so the next type of movement tech we're going to be getting into is all the wall tech. There is quite a bit in this one, so strap up your seatbelts. We're going to be getting in for a longer stretch with these ones. There's quite a bit, a lot of different ones, easier to harder we are going to be going from, so strap in. Let's get ready, boys. Okay, so the wall jump is the most simple movement tech on walls, but it can also be pretty tricky. It's literally, all you're going to do is you walk up to the wall. It's just like that. That's all it looks like. It's really simple. It's just into the wall and jump off. You can use it to style on enemies. It's going to help you get around the map really quickly. So it is a very good movement mechanic for getting around the map. But how are you actually going to do this? So you're going to use the same movement tech that I taught you earlier, the slide jump. And you're going to come at the wall. You can come like this, you can come from here. It's all really simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to run at the wall. Use that slide jump mechanic that I taught you earlier. And you're going to use it to mantle onto the wall. Okay? And from this mantle position, literally all you're going to do is just jump off. That wasn't a jump, but I'll show you. So you're going to come at the wall, slide, jump, and with the mantle, you're just going to jump off. It's that simple. Quick tip with obstacles like these that aren't as tall. You're going to notice while you're doing it, if you guys are trying to do this right, you're going to end up mantling or climbing up a lot of the times. And there's a really simple solution to stop that. You're going to do your wall jump the exact same way, your wall bounce. But instead of coming at it forward, jumping, and then bouncing off, what you're going to want to do is when you slide at it, you're going to slide, jump, and hold left or right depending on the direction that you're going with this. So if you're coming at it from here and you want to go that direction, all you're going to do is come at it and hold right on your analog stick while you wall bounce. Another thing is if I'm going this way and I want to go that direction, or if I'm coming this way, but I want to either come here or that direction, you just hold back. So I'll come here and hold right on my analog stick. So I'm coming, wall bounce, and hold right, and I'll come back this direction. I don't even have to come at it straight on. But if I come at it straight on, you come left, or I can use that one and go right. Okay, so the next movement tech we're actually going to get into is going to be known as the fatigue wall bounce, aka the infinite wall bounce. How you're going to do this movement tech is actually not you could say it's simpler, but it's also different than the regular wall bounce. And how you're going to do this movement tech, it's actually really good with Horizon because of her air strafe ability. It's also really good for tap strafes on PC, but as we know, this is a console intermediate movement guide from easiest to hardest. So how you're actually going to do this movement is with the regular wall bounce, right, you're going to jump. You see this high jump? What you want to get into is these little jumps. So you see how they're not full height? These little jumps is what you're going to want. So when you come at the wall, you're going to get to these little jumps, and then with these little jumps, you're going to jump off the wall with your mantle. And a quick tip for using the fatigue bounce is, say you're healing, right, there's an enemy coming at you. All you can do is, right before it ends, you can hit your jump, fatigue bounce off, and then you can hit your jump with the fatigue bounce. It's a great movement tech for when someone's near you and you have to heal. So the next movement tech we're going to be looking at is actually known as wall running. A good example of this is Guapi on YouTube and Twitch. Although he is on Revenant, it is still possible to do it, just not to the extent he does. What you're going to use wall running for is really just extending how long your wall bounces are going to last, and say the distance that you need them to be, looking at it from a 45-degree angle. And we're going to use that same slide jump mechanic and the same wall bounce mechanic that I taught you in the earlier stage. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide and jump at the wall, and when you jump at the wall, you're going to look back this way while you're mantling. So, and hold left. So say I'm coming at it from here, it's on my right side. You're going to slide, jump, look back, not to this extent, but you're going to slide, jump, look at it about this angle. So here, this is straight, about here. And you're going to hold the direction you want to go. So then from here, all you're going to do is master this. It's just slide, jump. You're going to master that. And then once you master that, it's as simple as slide, jump, and then jumping off. The next thing I want to talk about is a movement tech that was named by Misery TV. He's a controller movement demon on PC. He's crazy. Go check him out. It's Mizery. But he calls it wall dancing, and what it is pretty much a mixture of everything that I just said all mixed together. So the mix of your wall bounces, the fatigue bounces I showed you, the wall climbs, literally everything just all mixed together in the same together, just to make some really good movement that you can use to get away, avoid people, their shots, and just be an absolute console movement demon that you want to be. Okay, so the next movement tech we're going to be talking about is zip lines. And the most basic zipline movement tech that you can talk about is zipline dancing or zipline jumps. And what I mean by zipline jumps is I don't just mean jumping like this. I mean something like this. This is just a regular jump. But you can see it's just a super jump. Like, you go a lot further with the super jump than you would just regularly doing it. And it's helpful, being able to go further with it than it would be just jumping off of it regularly, like this. So how I actually do this movement tech is going to be clicking interact and then jumping twice after you click interact. So it's going to be interact, jump, jump. And it's going to launch you this extra distance. It's going to launch you extra far just by clicking interact, jump, jump. That's all. There's two settings that can actually help you do this more effectively. Is actually going to be evolved and button jumper. Only because the bumpers, it makes it a lot easier to be able to press them faster. So the next movement tech we're actually going to be covering is called mantle jumping. Now this is just recently discovered within the last few seasons, and it was actually discovered by a console player. The first person to actually start doing mantle jumps on controller is actually a console player, not a PC player. And there's two ways that you can go about doing mantle jumps.
She put this blade
One
in
of
my hand.
them is which going up, and then from your mantle you're going to look up and do your mantle jump as such. Mantle. And then from here, you're going to look straight up and super jump, like I just showed you. The second way that you can do it is a lot more difficult, and by any means, I have not mastered this movement tech. I have not even got it down to 50% of the time. This movement tech is one of the most difficult in the game to learn, and if you can do it, props to you. But the other way that you can do it is when you're going to go up, you start the same way, but instead of looking up, you look down, walk backwards, interact, and double jump, like you did with the super jump. And that is mantle jump. It is my greatest movement tech, the one I'm most consistent at. It is one of the greatest movement techs that we have as console players because it is all frame-based. As being stuck on 60 frames as a console player, we have 120 milliseconds to actually input our inputs to do our super glide. Well, on PC, they have very little amount of time because of their higher frame rates. But as a console player, we can abuse this super glide movement tech and use it to our advantage. So now how we actually go about doing this is what you're going to do is you're going to come up to whatever structure you're doing on. This is probably the easiest structure you can practice it on, or the box up there that typically people 1v1 at. But how you're actually going to do this is you're going to walk up to a wall. You're going to mantle up the wall. When you reach the very top of right here, when you reach the top of your climb, that is when you're going to do your next inputs, and that is going to be your jump and crouch. And which you have to have your jump very slightly before your crouch, at minimum 10 milliseconds before your crouch input. Because if you don't, you're going to get something that looks like this. And that is not what you want. You want a super glide. And super glides are a movement tech that you can do backwards, sideways, forwards, in almost any direction besides straight backwards. But as you can see, I can do it sideways, I can do it forwards, I can do it in almost any direction. But super glides, how you do it, you climb up, mantle. At the peak of your climb, you're going to click jump and crouch at the same time while holding forward. This movement tech is really helpful if you have hold to crouch on, like I said in the beginning, just because when you do it, you can hold crouch and it'll make sure you stay consistent with it. Another thing is make sure you only press jump, don't hold jump. You only hold crouch on hold to crouch, otherwise you can just click them both. Next thing I wanted to talk about is different legends and how their abilities affect super glides. So the thing is with Wraith's Portal, you can actually use it to affect your super glide and make it the distance go
punching a tunnel.
With that, you can actually see I get a large boost with the super glide. A regular super glide will bring you to about here. With Wraith's ultimate, I can get sent far with her portal usage, and you can use it to your advantage to gain extra momentum, extra speed, although it is kind of a waste of a portal. It is a large waste of a portal if you are a ranked player. But as a movement player, it's a portal. We place it, we use it in our 1v3 solo queues. The same effect as Wraith's Tactical, and it gives you a speed boost with your super glides, as Wraith has with her Tactical as well. Same thing, you stem, extra speed boost on your super glide. You can go sideways, you can go backwards, Next character I wanted to talk about is actually Horizon. If you're a console player, which we all are, come on, console movement tech, it's insane. Okay? We've come so far with console movement tech, but the next character is going to be Horizon. And you can actually abuse her airstrafe with your super glides. And you can use it to go backwards, almost the same as we did with ledge sliding. You can use your super glides, do a sideways super glide, and use her airstrafe and bunny hopping to come back into cover with it. It's actually insanely broken, and is the closest thing that we have come to tap strafing. Until the end of this video, I have something in store for you guys that you guys probably haven't seen. But Horizon, with her tactical or her passive, is really good to mix in with your super glides. Name of Ghost Strafing, and it is actually brand new to us console movement players, and it goes by the name of Ghost Strafing because it is honestly the closest thing we've gotten to tap strafing ever as console players. Other than Horizon's movement. And I'll roll a clip here so you can see what it looks like. And this is console movement, no configs, nothing needed. This is console, and I'll be telling you guys how to do it today. So how you guys actually go about doing this movement is when you come at the wall, say I want to ghost jump off this wall, or ghost strafe. You're going to be running forward, and you're going to slide and hold back the direction you want to go. So you're going to slide, hold back, turn around, stand up, and jump. So how that is going to work is you're going to come, walk, run forward, slide. And as you're sliding, you're going to hold back left on your stick. And you notice that when I finish my slide, I walk in that direction once I finish my slide. And you want to make sure you're in a full walk before you jump, because if I do this and I jump too soon, I won't even jump. So you got to make sure you're coming back and you're in a good spot to actually do the full jump back. That is the first step. Second step is once you got that down, you have to practice the turnaround or the jump. And so that's going to come, slide back, stand up, and then you're going to turn around into the jump. So it's going to come, slide forward, bam, jump off. So it's going to literally look like you're here, you jump, and then you're mantling. From there, from the mantle, it's run, slide, turn around, and you want to think of more as it like this instead of this. would like to thank you guys for all queuing in and watching this video, learning some new movement tech. This is almost, I believe, this is all the movement tech I know of that I can show you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can learn some new movement tech to keep breaking your enemies' cameras, breaking ankles, and looking stylish and flashy as you're running around the map on Apex Legends. I hope this, guys, can get you guys some nice clips. I hope you guys can style on your enemies, and I hope this makes you an overall better player. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Azardia. Peace out.